بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم قل هو الله احد الله الصمد لم یلد ولم یولد ولم یکن له کفوا احد. خب دوستان excuse me, welcome the dear Mr. Pirani as the host and the other friends from Tanzania as the guests to the exalted session about the Imam Mahdi and the role of the Savior in the future of the world. My topics was about the government of Imam Mahdi in the accordance to the Holy Quran, the verses of the Quran. Briefly, unfortunately, we have some faults with the connection networks. So briefly, I refer at first my opinions. My lectures is two parts. First part about the logical position of the Mahdaviyyat in the mankind life, and then we refer to some verses of the Holy Quran about Imam Mahdi, which is indirectly the commentators indirectly related them to the Mahdaviyyah and the issue of reappearance of Imam Mahdi. Okay. At first, we should say that the Mahdaviyyah issue is of high importance in all religions because hope is the main source of the humankind activity. So when, for example, in other holy books, religions, there are some issues about Mahdaviyyah. Can we accept that it was impossible? It is not impossible that the God has talked about the Mahdaviyyah in the holy books like Psalm and Torah, but it didn't talk about Mahdaviyyah in the Quran. It's not logical. But I think there is a direct link, direct relation between Mahdaviyyah and the creation of mankind. I think from the beginning of the history, there are some oppressed people and oppressors. So the Mahdaviyyah issue, Mahdaviyyah conception, make people to hold hope alive in their hearts that a divine man come from God to establish a society, a divine and exalted society, to prepare the grounds for establishing justice and equity. So I think righteous worshippers that we refer to Ibadiya Salihun in some verses of the Quran, indirectly some commentators refers to it as the followers of Imam Mahdi and the issue of Mahdaviyyah. So if suppose that there is no Mahdaviyyah, for example, all efforts, all hopes, all activities of the people around the world would doomed to be failure, will be in vain, because all people live with hope in their hearts. So Mahdaviyyah conception make this hope alive in the hearts of all people around the world. The philosophy of Mahdaviyyah refer or relate to essence of God, essence of mankind, the being of Mahdaviyyah, because oppressors and oppressed nations, we can see all of them through the history. So just Mahdaviyyah and a savior from Allah can remove all discrimination in this world. But my topic, this the second part of my speech. My topic was about the government of the Imam Mahdi in the Holy Quran, and how can conclude according to the verse of the Quran that that there is a need to Mahdawiya conception. Okay, okay. Usually, the commentators, interpreters name over 102, 120 verses directly or indirectly relate or refer to Mahdawiya conception, and even some other interpreters can relate over 265 verses to the Mahdawiya conception. And different commentators, different interpreters from different sects of Islam and other religions approved these verses and their relations with the Mahdawiya conception. Just here, we just refer to three famous and well-known verses related to the Mahdawiya conception, the reappearance of Imam Mahdi, inshallah, in the future, maybe this time, another time, this week, another time, inshallah, maybe today or next Friday, inshallah. Okay, the first ayah is وَلَقَدْ كَتَبْنَا فِي الزَّبُورِ مِنْ بَعْدِ الذِّكْرِ أَنَّ الْأَرْضَ يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحُونَ. Certainly, we wrote in the Psalms after the Torah, indeed my righteous servants shall inherit the earth. We need here some explanations that we Muslims, as Muslims, we exploit Islamic decrees from four resources. Okay, four resources: Quran, Sunnah, consensus, and intellect, reasoning, wisdom. So there is no need. Some, for example, some opposers say that there is no verses in the Quran that refers to the issue of Mahdawiyyah. But we should say that there is no need that all decrees, Islamic decrees, come directly in the Quran or, for example, Sunnah. But the intellect, the wisdom, order us to exploit this decrease from the main sources. So, for this ayah that I read, وَلَقَدْ كَتَبْنَا بِالزَّبُورِ مِنْ بَعْدِ الذِّكْرِ أَنَّ الْأَرْضَ يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحُونَ indirectly refers to Mahdawiyyah that يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحُونَ. Some pious people inherit the earth. This is the rule of the world, the rule of the globe that was prescribed by the God. Definitely. The second ayah is وَنُرِيدُ أَن نَمُنَّ عَلَى الَّذِينَ اسْتُضْعِفُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَنَجْعَلَهُمُ الْأَئِمَّةَ وَنَجْعَلَهُمُ الْوَارِثِينَ. I said that from the beginning of the world there were some oppressors and some oppressed nations. That Mahdawi helps us to make alive this conception in our mind that Mahdi, inshallah, as the Holy Prophet son, come to the world and make a just rule to rule the world piously and justly. Okay, and the third ayah is وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لِيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ وَلَيُمَكِّنَنَّ لَهُمْ دِينَهُمُ الَّذِي ارْتَضَىٰ لَهُمْ وَلَيُبَدِّلَنَّهُم مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا يَعْبُدُونَنِي لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا. Allah, the translation, Allah has promised those of you who have faith and do righteous deeds that He will surely make them successors in the earth, just as He made those who were before them successors, and he will surely establish for them their religion which he has approved for them, and that he will surely change their stage to security after their fear, while they worship me, not ascribing any partners to me. And whoever is ungrateful after that, it is they who are transgressors. So, okay, these three